how did you feel about Love of My Life?
I felt like barkada tayo eh. And
Yeah,
even the relationship of our characters. I mean, yes, I felt like barkada tayo in real life, but the relationship of our characters, you know how super close friends.
No, we were chill. Like,
Right?
what are her names again? Nikolai and Kelly. Tama ba?
Yeah, Kelly.
We were chill. Like, as our characters, I remember the one thing, we had like a vaping scene, I think.
Yeah.
At the very start, like pre-pandemic pa to.
Okay.
The pre-pandemic,
Okay.
we had that vaping scene. And that's what I would remember because that was kind of like the friendship of our characters.
I think what strengthened like our chemistry within scenes is we ad-libbed a lot. So
Oh my God!
we used our own
We-
humor to make these guys look
Yeah.
really close and have that bond because we would say things that weren't on the script.
Okay.
So I guess that's where it came from.
Wait, so there was a little bit of Rhian, a little bit of Mikael.
There was a
in these
lot of
characters.
Rhian and there was a lot of Mikael.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for sure.
There was
Not
a
just
lot.
a little bit.
We ad-libbed a lot.
And
It was
Direct
a lot.
Don was super supportive.
Yes.
Direct Don was super supportive about ad-libbing. They could ad-lib during the rehearsal and he's like, yeah, just keep that in. I
Yeah.
like that. I like
Okay. So I've never worked with Direct Don, so I don't know what his process is like. I'm so used to like, I've worked with Direct Dom naman
multiple times.
times, and he's a very visual kind of director. It's really up to us most of the time to really push for our characters and what we do. So how is it working with Direct Don Michael Perez?
How would you compare Direct Dom and Direct Don?
Well, ang layo sa kabaliwan level.
Oh yeah, personality levels.
Alam na natin kung sino yung baliw.
Polar opposite sila.
Super duper opposite. He's very quiet actually, but he allows you also to just explore. Like ikaw bahala sa character mo, how you I mean, he does also kasi we would suggest lines during
Yeah.
rehearsals and
Yeah.
stuff. And then sometimes may maiisip din siya na and also say this and also say that. So we were all kind of injecting our own humor into it. But yeah, he also gave us a lot of free reign, no?
Yeah, I guess they're similar in the sense na they really allow us to inject our own personality and our own like pizzazz into the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that your style na parang, well, I don't know kung your style, kung intentional. When we're doing rehearsals, humihirit ka. Hirit na half joking pero half baka pwede for the character.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
if the director says, keep that,
Then
Yeah.
you go
which
with it.
happens a lot,
True.
you keep it. So you really do you do that intentionally?
Yes, absolutely. I
Diba?
try to. Kasi there are some instances. Nice shirt. Sorry. Bigla ko lang napansin.
We have to talk about this. There is, you know what this shirt is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, we gotta talk about that.
There are sometimes kasi na it feels like an insult if an actor wants to change the script.
Yes.
Because it's like, what, you don't think we know what we're doing or whatever. So I always found that a respectful way to do it was during rehearsal to just joke about it.
And if they went with it, okay lang.
Because if the director says it's okay, then the director
It might
says
be okay.
And I really don't mean anything by it, like that I don't like the script. It's just as an actor, sometimes as you're getting to know your character,
You have that gut feel.
you already know what they're thinking while they're saying this, because sometimes what they're saying and what they're thinking is the complete
Yeah.
opposite. And also to prepare my scene partners.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, if you just say it during a scene, paano kung natawa? Or paano kung na-off na parang, what's my line after that? Kailan yun? Yung parang ganun. So parang, if I say it in rehearsal, then at least they kind of know, okay, something weird is gonna happen, or something different might come.
It's so funny that you say that because I feel like Margaret and Diana have so many scenes together na lagi tayo nagbabangayan and we're always throwing out these outrageous lines.
Yeah.
Na parang, oh my God, would you actually say that in real life?
Na ang layo sa mga personality natin. We
Natin,
would never
eh,
even think
no.
to say something similar.
No, maybe just a little bit. But, I mean, if you think about it, parang kailangan talagang i-rehearse yun because knowing us, we're so kengkoy. Like, when we're always joking, we're so kengkoy. So, feeling ko, kung hindi natin na-practice yun, we would have, like, unstoppable laughter.
True. We would have to practice saying it and meaning it.
Oh, yeah.
Because when we read it, sometimes I'm like, did I just call you ano? When we're reading it in the tent, we're like, did I just say that to you? Oh my God. Parang ganon. So we have to practice meaning it sometimes.
Okay, so while I was reading our script for Royal Blood, and this is before we even shot it, sabi ko kay Mikael, grabe, sobrang campy ng character ni Rhian. I mean, I wonder how she's actually gonna shoot this because
True.
it kind of felt very clown-ish when I read it because she was so outrageous. And then it was such a delight actually to see you play Margaret's character because I felt that you put that campiness in it with truth.
Thank
Na parang,
you!
That was Margaret, and this is something that is her life, and she's so used to it. She's not trying to, make people laugh or whatever. It's just that this is what she knows.
Yeah, that's her truth.
That's her truth.
It might sound crazy to you, but to Margaret, this is normal.
Yeah, so it didn't feel like it was a scene in that sense. And it didn't feel like, oh, parang ang layo sa katotohanan.
Something to add, Rhian's great at saying crazy things in a very grounded way.
Yes!
I don't know if you've noticed that, because even Kelly, from Kelly, Love of My Life,
She
now
said
to Margaret,
crazy
she said
things.
crazy things. Like, you and I, we would talk about the script and the story, and we were like, dang, what's up with Kelly? And then now Margaret, what's up with Margaret? So did you notice you have these characters na parang borderline absurd, or let's just call it what it is, they're kind of absurd.
True.
Cray.
But do you intentionally look for how to ground them, or it just kind of like comes out with however you take in the character?
It's definitely my number one goal to always look for a way to do this, and the audience will either feel or know exactly what's on my mind or how I feel while I'm saying it. So parang in that way, you're on this, sure, you probably would have never thought to say that as an audience, but you're on this journey with whoever the
That character.
character is. And you feel like, yeah, that I want it to make sense eh.
Yeah.
Diba? So, I feel like, ayun na nga, since lines are different sometimes from what your inner monologue is, it's like I don't mind if they understand the line or not. I just want them to understand how I felt
In that moment.
yeah, while saying it, and hoping that they will feel the same way also.
Or at least relate
Or
to that
understand.
character, or feel something about that character.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. That's the
Thanks,
first time.
thanks.
That's the
Yeah.
first time I've heard something like that.
No, because we've always talked about how you're so grounded with your characters. Na there's always that truth nga. So when I watch Margaret now, after reading the absurd lines that she has, I'm like, I feel for her. Like when I watch Margaret, this girl is cuckoo. But I feel for her.
Yeah, but parang, I think if there's one word that I could choose, that's my goal. I just want to be clear. Like, I just want to be clear with the audience, with everything that's happening, even if they don't know. There's so many hidden scenes in a murder mystery. So even if they don't know what's happening, it's clear that she didn't just say it to be mean, she said it with pain.
Yeah.
Or she said it with, a different goal in mind. Parang ganon. It just needs to be clear to them.
That's cool. I
Parang
like
ganon.
that.
I like
that concept.
It has to be clear. Clear your motive.
But
Clear
do you
your
remember where you picked that up? How did you get to that? Because
That's
I don't know.
such a good question.
Because
Where
all
did
of
I
us, we have like these moments, like you've been acting for almost 20 years, right? And then same here, 13 years, almost 20 years.
Yeah.
So we've kind of evolved. You look back and you do things. You do things.
Where's my walker? Yeah.
We do things differently. We see like maybe a complex character, and we process it differently, just like you and Margaret, maybe.
True.
And now you get to the point where you distilled it into one word. I'm just so curious. Are you aware of how that happened? Were you consciously looking for that? Nahirapan ka ba? Did you have that before? I'm just so curious
Well,
about that.
I never thought about it before until you asked just now, but now I'm getting this quick flashback in my mind of when I worked with Direct Joyce in Stairway to Heaven.
Bernal.
Yeah, Joyce Bernal. And she said, okay, in this scene, it starts na lalabas ka ng pinto. I was like, okay. So, I just exited the door. She was like, hindi pwedeng ganun. Parang, natry mo na ba lumabas ng pinto na pupunta ka sa hospital? Lumabas ka ng pinto na pupunta ka sa work? Lumabas ka ng pinto na may kukunin ka lang sa labas? Magkakaibang lakad lahat yon.
Magkakaibang hawak
So I'm
sa
like,
pinto.
oh nga no, how do they know what's happening in my head if I just exit?
Yeah.
Unless, what if grabbing the doorknob brings you fear pa lang? Diba? Or anything could happen because in life, it's kind of like
Yeah.
that, diba? These unexpected feelings could happen if you're clear about where you're going, what you're doing, and why you're doing it. Why am I exiting this door nga naman? So parang just always looking for... So parang, why can't every
Galing.
movement be like that? Like,
Yeah.
her example of exiting the door. Na, nga, what if sinubo ko ba yung food because I'm hungry or sinubo ko to be polite but I don't want to eat it? Or,
Yeah.
kasi lahat yun magkakaiba eh.
And all your
Yeah.
nuances are different, even from picking it up to like where you look, how you look at somebody, or even at the food. They're all different.
Yeah.
And they all convey a certain message.
Yeah, and definitely in our show, each moment is so highlighted na I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna need that all the more now. Na when, diba, every move I make, every person I choose to look at or not look at needs to mean something.
Yeah.
Because the audience is gonna say, ay, bakit tinignan niyo si ganito lang?
Yeah.
Or, ay, bakit ayaw niya harapin pag
Yeah.
kinausap niya or something like that.
You know, I feel like in
That's good. I like
know,
that. That was
I know.
cool.
And picking up from what you said, I feel like in Royal Blood, it's also heightened my senses when it comes to acting, in the sense na before, yeah, I'd throw my lines, I'd have this emotion. Pero what was your intention? Kasi in each scene that we have, there's always an intention for something. Even when we talk and
Yeah.
when we fight, our characters, when we talk and when we fight, there's
You
always
break it down line by line and have different
line by
units.
line. Ang galing. Ang galing ni Rhian Ramos.
Oh my
God. Fudge brownie.
No, I noticed nga na we all started this project as different people.
Yeah.
And now that we're ending it, parang it was a workshop in a way
Yeah.
and
Yes.
training.
Yes.
And didn't we all learn a lot? Because I learned so much in this project just because it's a genre that I've never dealt with before. I've never had to do like a murder mystery where I'm so hyper focused on these little details and what they might mean and what they might say to our audience. So parang I think we all just went
yeah.
through that where we're like so aware now.
We started off as different people, and as we go towards the end of Royal Blood, we're all different kinds of actors now.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've grown to
Wow.
appreciate our work even more because of Royal Blood.
Yeah, I enjoyed. But one thing I wanted to touch on what you said, to be honest with you, this genre is something we've all
Never done.
never really done.
Yeah.
Right.
I actually was a bit confused during the first few weeks. I was trying to I would always talk to you,
Yeah.
Bones, about it. I was like, what are we trying to do? Like, is this supposed to be campy?
Yeah.
I struggled with that. I was like, how is this guy supposed to be like? They say, oh, he's dark. Oh, he's campy. And I couldn't figure out what was the balance that I was going to have.
Yeah.
Eventually, I found it over time working with you guys. Because syempre, you feed off each other's energy and you don't want
Right.
you want to level with everyone. You don't want to be like sticking out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
So I figured that out working with you guys, talking to Derek a lot, talking to the writers. But I have to admit, at first, I was really like, how
Do I
do
do
this
this?
genre? Do I do this differently
Yeah.
from a drama? So I didn't know. These were the
saka-
questions I had.
I noticed through the years. Ganun eh. Through the
Yeah,
years.
just go for it. It's true.
I noticed that different writers have different writing styles, and some can hit you in a way where it feels like cartoony or very, just ayun nga, like I don't want to keep saying camp. It's
Yeah.
iba eh. Animated.
Okay,
Animated.
yes.
Diba? And then once it's shot, depending on who directs it, depending
Yeah.
on who acts it out, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Once it's over, the product is different.
Different from what you imagined or thought
It's
it would
just
be like.
it's a writing style.
Yeah.
Yeah.